It is Friday, August 5th in the MLB, and I'm Austin from Calling Our Shot.
And I'm Logan from Calling Our Shot.
And we are back with our 4 best picks of the day. We got our 2 favorite game picks. We got a no run first inning. We got a player prop. We got our hit streak props coming your guys' way.
As always, guys, just a real quick favor. Go down, hit that subscribe button. It really helps Austin and I grow this channel. And I got a special request from one of our subscribers yesterday. Grandma Ellie asked, could I bring out the broom?
And Austin, I think you could, Logan, because it was a 3-0 day. I don't even have a broom. I didn't think this would happen. I haven't changed shirts, though, since yesterday because I'm just not messing with the juju. But a 3-0 day from yesterday. Our parlay cashed as well. A great day overall for the Calling Our Shot community. If you aren't hit that subscribe button, we really would appreciate it. But look, Rangers cover that first 5 run line. It was sweaty. I won't lie to you. That Reagan's guy, he was making you sweat for it, Logan. He gets it done. Astros first 5 run line. No sweat bet. Our NRFI was a no sweat bet. I got to watch it with one of you guys, Nick, out there. If you're watching, I appreciate you for coming out and you're like, hey, let's go watch the NRFI together. We had a great time together. And I'm in Chicago. As people can see, I'm kind of in a new place. I'll be at the Marlins game today. So section 229, row 1. If you are at the Marlins Cubs game today, hey, come holler at me. I'd be happy to talk to you. I'll buy you a hot dog if you really want to. I don't care. But we're having a good time out here. We appreciate you guys as always for tuning in. I only have 2 quick notes. Number 1, we got a couple new All-Stars. Got to get the bag. We're joining Derek and Eddie. And then that's really all I think I got for the people today, Logan. You got 2 game picks. It's Friday. We're in good mood. What do you have for the people today? You've been on a pretty good run.
I am jealous, though. Side note that you get to see a baseball game today. Very jealous as I will be at work today. But we're gonna keep that momentum going, and we're starting with the team total, right? Nationals versus Phillies, and I'm taking the Nationals team total under 3.5 runs. Currently plus 100 odds on FanDuel is your best value. Look, I'll take the plus money. It's pretty standard across the books, though, right? And you got Kyle Gibson on the mound for the Phillies today. 4.5 ERA at home and a 1.15 whip at home. The whip is okay. The ERA is high, and it might scare off a lot of people from betting it under in this one. But you know what? Gibson, he's given up 15 home runs, which is puts him in about the 20s as far as, starting pitchers. He does give up a lot of home runs, 1 home run in each of his last 2 starts. But here we go, right? Washington, 27th in home runs on the road and 28th overall. They don't usually hit home runs. And now I'm speaking that into existence. No home runs for the Nationals today. No garbage 3-run home runs. But Washington's runs, if you look at yesterday was a weird game, right? They called it at 5 innings, and Washington actually hit this team total over. They had 4 runs in 5 innings. So you look at how they scored yesterday. Washington's runs came off singles and a wild pitch, right? Gibson is usually a pretty steady guy, right? He usually, induces a lot of ground balls and soft contact. Fingers crossed, right? That aren't the home run type balls. If he makes these Washington hitters, hit put the ball in play, hit where the defense isn't, I think we're actually be pretty solid today, right? And if you look at Gibson's most recent home game versus the Braves, great offense. 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, and only 4 hits allowed, right? Gibson is usually good at not allowing a hit parade, as I always like to say. So I really do think Gibson should be able to hold down the fort. I pulled some of the Washington hitters versus Gibson. Alcides Escobar, he's seen him a ton. 14 for 48, 292. I mean, that's a solid average, but I mean, he alone can't get it done. Luke Voigt has an okay average, 3 for 8, 375. Nelson Cruz, though, 3 for 17, 177, and Deej Strange Gordon, 1 for 10. So again, I don't know what this Nationals lineup is going to look like. Probably a lot of young guys, a lot of young bats in there that might not be able to crack Kyle Gibson because he's a savvy pitcher, right? He's been out there for a while, so he should be able to navigate there. Now, when the Philadelphia bullpen comes in, I know what you're saying. Philadelphia 20th in bullpen ERA. It will be ideal for me if Gibson can make it a solid 6 innings. He usually does, right? If you look at his game logs, he's usually a 6 or even sometimes 7 innings pitched, or he's like a 2 or 3 innings pitched and a complete meltdown. And this would be a no sweat bet in the other direction. But I think Gibson should be pretty solid today. Washington has hit this over in 2 straight games. I don't need to remind Austin of that. But prior to that, they went under in 3 straight. So I'm just kind of banking on this Nationals offense regressing back to the normal. And I am taking their team total under for my first pick. But Austin, what do we got today?
Yeah, so we're going as I don't think I talked about at the beginning of the show. Our hit streaks both came to an end, fittingly on the same day. So we're gonna kind of change up our hit streak kind of thing we're doing. Usually, Logan and I would each pick one person. We play them separately. Today we're just gonna start parlaying them. And so day 1, do Jose Iglesias of the Rockies. That's Logan's guy. I'll do DJ LeMahieu of the Yankees. We're parlaying them together, minus 119. We're still going to start with just $10, and then we're just going to keep rolling over the money because we don't want to put $100 on this. Although you can put a full unit if you'd like. We're very confident in both of these two guys. So both these two guys get a hit. Tomorrow we'll do day 2, and we'll both be putting, 18 something on it. And so we'll keep rolling with it. I also do want to note, I will have like a same game parlay or something for that Marlins Cubs game, which is an early start at 120. I'm about to head off to Wrigley Field and go have some fun over there. But that's not my player prop for you guys today. Today I'm going to Glenn Otto of the Rangers, taking his under 4.5 strikeouts, minus 130 on Caesar Sportsbook. Now, I would say there's a couple different lines. Normally we do pull up odds jam. Since I don't have my 2 monitors here, it's kind of hard to do that. You'd see a lot of inception of Logan and Nice faces. You don't want that, I promise. But I would play this up to minus 150. I saw $1 at minus 155. Probably want to touch it there, but I'm confident up to minus 150. Now, Otto is under 4.5 strikeouts, so under 5 in 9 of his last 15 starts. So been pretty good hitting this number. He is over 4.5 Ks in 2 straight starts. But you got to look at who he was playing in those starts. It was against the Mariners and the Angels, teams that are 17th and 30th in strikeouts per game. Not all too good. Now, the White Sox, team that just strikes out the 5th fewest in the MLB, a very good team, and they do strike out a little bit more on the road. But I do think they can get it done today because over the last 30 days, White Sox 4th best batting average and only a 20.7 K percentage, which goes even lower against righties. Like Logan talked about yesterday, they actually were not hitting lefties all too well, and that showed as they lose the game outright to a rookie that's making his first ever start. Now, Otto, you look at his splits and you look at his percentiles, 19th percentile K percentage, pretty bad. 8th percentile chase rate, pretty bad. 25th percentile whiff rate. 96th percentile walk percentage. This is a guy that walks a ton of guys. We talk with, and you can look at Otto's walks, and I think his line is 1.5, which he's hit pretty consistently. The thing is, the White Sox don't walk a whole lot, but they did yesterday versus Reagans. Logan can vouch for. They're walking. The first batter walked almost every single inning, and Logan had to sweat out them having a base running. This was a White Sox team that did show good plate discipline yesterday to a guy in the Reagans that wasn't throwing a lot of competitive pitches. Otto, another guy that doesn't throw a lot of competitive pitches, so they can ring up that pitch count. We do see Otto's outs line at 15.5 with juice on the under. So I think we're only going to see Otto go maybe 5, maybe 5 1/3 or 2/3 innings pitched. Otto also struggled at home, under 4.5 Ks in 6 of 7 home starts. And he's actually allowing a very high batting average at home, 289 batting average compared to just 221 on the road. Very weird splits. And you also see the lineup that the White Sox likely will trot out there. Sometimes you get lineup changes, but White Sox should have 7, maybe 8 right-handed bats in their lineups today. Righties hitting 315 versus Otto with a 421 on-base percentage. Lefties only hitting 194 with a 305 on-base percentage. Very weird splits for Otto, really struggling versus righties. So I really like Otto to get it done. I mean, I don't think he's going to go too far into this game. Maybe the White Sox bring their bats today after absolutely laying an egg for all the people that were betting on him yesterday. Still big favorite today with Dylan Cease on the mound. I think Otto's going under this 4.5 Ks line. And that's my player prop of the day. But Logan, I heard you got 2 picks. You've been on a good run. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, well, let's go back to the first 5s. The first 5s have been really treating us right. And this is a bit of a line read pick, Logan's line read, everyone's favorite segment, right? And we're going to the Braves versus Mets, right? And I'm taking the Braves plus 0.5 in the first 5 innings, minus 114 odds on FanDuel's your best value there, right? Now I'm doing some line reading on this one as always, right? The juggernaut Mets, who everybody knows and loves and made everybody a lot of money, are at great value versus a hard to trust, pitcher in Ian Anderson. Ian Anderson is what I like to call a turkey tosser, a meatball thrower, whatever you want to say. Worth noting though, I do like the first 5 under 4.5, but it couldn't be me picking 2 unders in the same day. I'm not that lucky on totals. So I'm just going to go ahead and play what I think is a little bit safer in the Braves plus 0.5. Because when I went to bed, I was, kind of doing the line reading as always. And I'm like, why are Braves, juiced minus 125? Now, currently, the public has bet it down, right? Everyone's and their mother's probably hopping on Mets in this one. But I think Ian Anderson is solid enough to potentially cash this bet for us, right? Ian Anderson, 4.42 road ERA and a 1.4 whip on the road. Those are not good numbers. We know that, right? Obviously, Ian Anderson, his ERA on the year is like a 5. But if you look at how he performs versus the Mets, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run versus the Mets back in May. The first 5 of that game was tied 0-0, which with the plus 0.5, as you saw yesterday, if they tie, we win the bet, right? It's very important to me that we get that plus 0.5 because the first 5 innings tie way more often than you think. Now, I pulled some of the Mets hitters versus Ian Anderson as well, right? Starling Marte and Pete Alonso, 2 of their best hitters, only 2 for 10, batting 200 versus Ian Anderson. Francisco Lindor, Mr. Smile, 1 for 9, 111. Jeff McNeil, the flying squirrel, 0 for 9. Oh, he has not gotten a hit versus Ian Anderson. That's really important. If he's able to hold those guys down, man, we stand a really good chance at cashing that bet, right? If you look at also the game odds, right? And I always do when Austin and I do these hits picks, several of these Mets are barely above minus 200 to record a hit. That's weird because normally you see a lot of them juiced in that almost 300 range. Like Pete Alonso, normally not a minus 210 or 220 guy to get a hit, but he is today, right? Now, who's on the other side? We got Taijuan Walker facing the Braves, 1.93 ERA at home and a 1.02 whip. Really solid numbers for Taijuan Walker, but worth noting, right? Taijuan Walker has given up 3 home runs in his last 2 starts. Braves are a really good power hitting team, right? Braves 4th best in home runs on the road. They might be able to capitalize on Taijuan Walker's mistakes today. Atlanta hitters versus Walker, some of them are good, some of them are bad, right? Austin Riley has, been a great hitter. I think he went 0 for yesterday, so bounce back inbound today. 3 for 6 with a home run today. Robbie Grossman, if he is in the lineup, he's 5 for 13. I hope they do put him in the lineup. He's seen Walker well. Swanson and Olsen both 0 for. Swanson 0 for 6, Olsen 0 for 4. One of them is due a hit. That's my not so bold prediction. And Ronnie Acuna 1 for 4. So I think these Braves bats should have enough offense to keep this first 5 competitive. Hopefully Ian Anderson does not sell us. And that's why I'm going with that first 5 line read pick. But Austin, grab the flex. You know what time it is.
Oh, yeah, baby. You know what time it's Nerf Nation time. The way it flags are flying. We hit yesterday pretty easily. We didn't have to split that one out too bad. Today, we are going to a game that's, I think, an earlier start, if I'm not mistaken. Not too early, but Pirates versus Orioles. We're taking the no-run first inning. It is minus 110 on Caesar, so pretty good odds. We don't want to be taking a juice one, although we did like the Mariners one, but that's too juice. We're not doing that. We're taking this one. Now on the mound will be Dean Kramer for the Orioles. 8-2 on no-run first innings. It's worth noting, in Chicago, I had dinner with a guy with the last name of Kramer. So if that's good odds, good vibes, I don't know what to tell you, but I think Kramer can get it done. And you look at Pittsburgh, just 28th in first inning runs, a team that's really struggled in first inning runs this year. And Pittsburgh, knock on wood, haven't scored a first inning run in 12 straight games. So I think Mr. Kramer can get me those first 3 outs. Who's pitching for the Pirates today, Logan?
Yeah, hopefully Mitch Keller can get us the next 3 outs we need, right? He's 12-6 on NRFIs this year. Mitch Keller has been better of late, though, right? He's NRFI'd in 5 straight starts. We like to see that. Can he hold down this Baltimore offense? I think so, and I hope so. Baltimore, 30th in first inning runs. Not a great first inning run team. Now, every time, the fluky stuff happens, they will score. If one of these 2 teams does bust the first inning, you just have to chalk it up to like fluke. Here it is. Have to shrug and say, oh, well. But the over-under set to 8.5. I mean, that's a little bit high for these 2 teams, but that doesn't really concern our no-run first inning portion. But another one I do want to, I want to put out there that we considered. I did a little bit of line reading on these NRFIs, as I always do. I think that Yankees Cardinals one has a really weird chance of going NRFI, just because if Dakota Hudson is able to navigate that lineup, I think Nestor Cortez holds up his end. I think that's an interesting one as just another side play. But this one is ours because we're banking on these 2 offenses being bad and flying the flags again.
So if I'm not mistaken, we got 4 picks. We got our 2 hit streak props, and of course, we got our parlay of the day, which hit yesterday. And of course, we're doing it again. If you want to read our whole analysis, definitely go over to OddsJam. Top link in the description. Go check out that. Hopefully, we can wave these flags for the people, though. But our parlay of the day will be Mariners minus 1.5 on the full game run line, and Pirates first 5 run line plus a half. I think the Pirates can get it done in a pretty low scoring game. At least that's what I expect out of that Pirates-Orioles game. But those are going to be our picks. As I said, if you're going to the Marlins-Cubs game or if you're in the area, let me know. Hit me up on Twitter or Instagram or wherever it may be. And maybe if I meet you guys, it's awesome to do. Appreciate the call on our Stroud Army. You guys are the real MVPs. Have a great Friday. Hopefully you'll see me at the Wrigley Field having some fun. I'll see you guys then. We'll catch you guys tomorrow morning.